viewers, myself Dr. Preeti Jagmani. I am Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science, Aryabhat College, University of Delhi. I welcome you all for CEC lectures. Our today's topic is red-black tree. Now this red-black tree is basically a topic which is of very prime importance when we study the subject of design and analysis of algorithms, or maybe we can say data structures and algorithms. This red-black tree is having its own particular importance, because this is a very special kind of data structure which is used for some particular applications. So beginning with our today's topics, red-black tree. This red-black tree is actually, as the name indicates, it's a tree, or we can say it is a data structure which was invented by Rudolf Bayer in 1972. So basically it is a binary search tree, a normal binary search tree, as the property of the binary search tree says that all the nodes in the left will be less than the parent node, and all the nodes on the right side will be greater than the parent node. That property holds here. So it's a binary search tree, but it's a self-balancing binary search tree. What do you mean by self-balancing? I'll be explaining it in a moment. Apart from being a normal binary search tree, each and every node in red-black tree is having an extra bit of information, and that extra bit of information is often represent the color. The color of the node will be either red or black, and that's why this data structure has been named as red-black tree. So basically a self-balancing binary search tree with every node having an extra bit of storage in order to in order to determine the color of the node. And what this color is ensuring, these colors are basically used to ensure that tree is balanced during all the operations of insertion and deletions. Now see what actually is happening when we say a binary search tree. So in a normal binary search tree, if we perform many operations of insertion and deletion, or even if it is a kind of, let's say, skewed binary search tree, then the height will be, we can say it may go out of bounds. When we talk about a self-balancing binary search tree, so self-balancing binary search tree is there to keep its height. Basically we can say height here is maximal number of levels below the root will be will be small, or will be stable, we can say. Even if you perform some arbitrary number of insertion and deletions, the height in a self-balancing binary search tree will not go out of bounds, because here the tree itself is capable of balancing itself, in the sense it will reorganize the nodes in such a way that height is within a particular limit. So that is what you called a self-balancing binary tree, or a height-balanced binary tree, which is capable of keeping its height within the limits by, we can say, the function of reordering, or by function of rotating the nodes. So that's what a self-balancing binary tree here means. Coming to the color property, we can introduce this color property in the structure of the node by just having an enumerated data type, where this enumerated data type can have only two values, either black or red. So the total structure of the node will be, we have a normal struct node, then there is a parent pointer which is pointing towards the parent of the node. This is going to be not null, this is going to be null in case of root only. Then we have pointers towards the left child and pointers pointing towards the right child, and apart from that we have a key also, which is generally represented as an integer element. So a parent, left, right and key are these 4 parameters are there, which are present in a normal node structure when we talk about a tree. But here in case of red black trees, one extra bit of information, as I have already told you, will be introduced in order to keep track of color. So this color is, because there can be only 2 possibilities, either black or red. So this has been coded in the form of an enumerated data type. So enum, which is, we can say, is the data type, has been given the name as color_t here, and the color is the variable. So the color variable is going to store whether that node is black or red, and apart from that it is having its parent pointer, left pointer, pointer to the left child, pointer to the right child, and the key element as standard. So one extra information or one extra variable here we have added. Now coming to some very particular properties of red black tree, which actually make a normal binary search tree a red black tree, is every node will be having a color, either red or black. There will be no such node which is not having any color. The color will be either red or the black. Root of tree will always be black. It can't be red under normal circumstances. In some circumstances this condition can be we can say relaxed or exempted, but as of now we will take it as that the root of tree is always black, and no 2 adjacent nodes can be red. Adjacent here in the sense, if I am talking about a parent and a child node, so that's what adjacency here I mean. That means adjacent at 2 nodes at 2 adjacent levels cannot be continuously red. That means the parent is red and so as the child is also red. This situation cannot happen. There are no 2 adjacent red node. That is also one property of your red black tree. Then we have, if a node is red, then both its children are black, and every path, now here this next property is very important, every path from a node including root to any of the descendant null node here is representing the leaf node, has the same number of black nodes. So this property says that whenever we take a path from any node, let's say we take a path from root node itself and we are coming down towards the leaf, so whatever number of black nodes will be there on one path, the another path, or maybe another side, if we are talking about left side, the other side which is available, the other nodes which are available on the next side, which is basically we can say right side. So in order to descend from root to leaf, on the right side also same number of black nodes will be there as they are present in the left side. I'll just show this with the help of a figure, and all leaves are essentially black. So here on the screen a red black tree has been shown. Now let us explore all the properties of red black trees one by one. I have told that all the leaves are black. Here leaves are shown by rectangular boxes which are nil, and other nodes are shown in the form of circles. So we have one node which is the root node, and the root node is black. So we have 13 as the root node, and this the numbers or the key elements here are serving the property of we can say binary search tree. So all the nodes on the left in the left subtree of 13 are smaller than 13, and all the nodes which are in the right subtree of 13 will be greater than 13 according to the normal binary search tree property. So 13, the root node is black, the leaves are black. Now the next property says every node is having a color. So this property is also satisfied in this figure. Every node is having a color, either red or black, and no node is there which is having no color. So every node is colored. Now coming to coming to the left subtree, if we see now the property says, the next property says no two adjacent level nodes can be red nodes. So here we can see in the left side that 13 is black, so is at 8 is red, 1 and 11 are black, and 6 is red. So as far as adjacent nodes are concerned, adjacent in terms of levels, there are no two adjacent level whose nodes are red. So it is kind of, we can say, black red alternate. Yes, there can be two black nodes at the adjacent level, but there cannot be two red nodes. So this property is also satisfied here, because if we can see on the right side also, on the parent of the 17 is 13 and the children are 15 and 25, and parent as well as the children are colored as black, while 17 itself is red. Now coming to 25 on the right subtree, in the rightmost subtree we have 22 and 27 as the children of 25, but these are 22 and 27 are colored as red. And now the next level is leaf, and all the leaves are black. So no two adjacent nodes are red. That is one thing. Now one very important property which we were trying to describe here was, you take any path from a particular node to a leaf on one side, the number of nodes, the number of black nodes will be equals to the path from that particular node to the leaf on the other side also. Let's say for example we take from 13. So from 13 coming down to the leftmost branch or the leftmost path, we have only, we can say, one black node and one leaf, let's say 2. So similarly coming to the other branch which is leading towards the node 11, we have similar one black node and one leaf node which is also black, so we can say total 2. So similarly coming on to the node which is having key as 6. So from 13 we will go to 8, from 8 we will go to 1, and from 1 then we will go to 6. So in this whole path, and from 6 then we will go to leaf node. In this whole path we have only one node except leaves, that is which is black, and that is the node with key 1. So if you can see the number of black nodes among all the paths starting from root to the leaf, you will find 2 including leaves. So that is one particular property of your red black binary search tree, or simply we can say red black trees. And this property is very very important in order to keep your height of the tree into some under some thresholds. So all these properties, if we can say every node has a color red or black, yes, this was satisfied as per the given figure. Root was black, no two adjacent red nodes were there. Then if a node is red, then both of its children are black, and every path from a node to its descendant null node or to its descendant leaf will be having same number of black nodes, and all leaves are essentially black. All these properties are satisfied within this figure, so we can say yes, this is a we can say a valid or a complete red black tree. Now coming to the next thing, in particular we have a black node. Let's say a leaf may have a black parent, so there may be, as I have already told you, that there can be 2 black nodes onto the adjacent levels, but there cannot be 2 red nodes onto the adjacent level. And yes, we can always have valid red black trees which are actually containing only black nodes, not red nodes. So if we talk about a perfect binary tree which is having only black nodes, that is going to be a valid red black tree, that will be considered as a legitimate or a valid red black tree. So a red black tree may have all the nodes black, but it will not have all the nodes red. And now coming to that number of black nodes onto one path from a particular node to the leaf, so that count or that number is actually known as black depth. In order to redefine this term black depth, we say that the black depth of a node is defined as number of black nodes from root to that particular node whose black depth we are trying to determine. And if we are trying to determine black depth of the tree, we can say that means the number of black nodes from root to the descendant leaves, and that is going to be equal on all the paths. So we can say there is going to be one number which will represent black depth, and this is also known as number of black ancestors. If we can see the definition of black depth, it is showing that black depth of a node is defined as the number of black nodes from root to that particular node. That means all the black ancestors will be counted in order to give the number of or in order to give the answer of black depth. Now coming to black height. So black height is we can say a kind of a complementary concept with your black depth thing. Black height is number of black nodes in any path from root to the leaves. So if we are talking about the black height of the tree, so that is going to be constant, because the number of black nodes in any path from root to the leaves will be equal as per the property of red black tree. And alternatively we can say it could be defined as black depth of any leaf node. So black depth of any leaf node will be the black height of the tree. That is one thing. Then every path from a node which is including root to any of the descendant null nodes which is leaf will be having same number of black nodes. That is the property which is required to be satisfied in all the valid and legitimate red black trees. Now coming to there can be at most one red node between two black nodes. If we take this property that there cannot be two adjacent red nodes there cannot be two adjacent red nodes, and the adjacent red nodes, as I have already told you, the red nodes at the adjacent levels. So let us understand this thing, that there can be at most one red node between two black nodes. So there are let's say there are at most b red nodes on the path. So if there are b red nodes on the path, or the number of nodes on a path, number of red nodes on a path is b, then we can have the total path length equals to ranging from b to 2b, from 1b to 2b. So if we have alternating black and red nodes, we will have 2b, because b is the number of red nodes. And let's say we have among that total path length we have no red nodes. That's also a valid kind of, we can say, red black tree in which there are no red nodes. So if there are no red nodes, then the path will have, the total path length will be b, and the maximum path length will be can be 2b if there are alternating black and red nodes. So because of these constraints, so as we have already told that the total path length can be from b to 2b, no two adjacent red nodes can be there, and the path from path from root node to the leaf node will be having same number of black nodes. Because of all these constraints, we can say the path from the root to the farthest leaf is no more than twice of the path from root to the nearest leaf. What does this statement actually says? This statement actually says that, let us consider a smaller path. So that smaller path is from root to its nearest leaf, and another path which we are considering is the, let's say, longer path, which is from the root to the farthest leaf. So the longer path will not be will no more than twice as long as the shorter path. So for let us say we define the length of shorter path as S and length of longest path as L, so that this L has to be less than equals to S according to all those constraints. And what actually this property is giving us? This property is giving us the we can say constraint, or we can say facility of the tree being a height balanced tree. So with all these constraints, that there will not be two adjacent red nodes, then between two continuous red nodes there has to be at least one black nodes. Then black height is the notion of the black height and the notion of black depth. With all these constraints, we have that the tree is roughly, we can say it is a height balanced tree. Height balanced tree says that there is a theoretical upper bound on the height. That upper bound will always be satisfied, that upper bound will always be met. So let's say we have a red black tree having a black height as B. That black height as B means path from root to any leaf node, any of the leaf node in that particular tree, it will be having B black nodes. Then black height of the red black tree, as I have already told you, will be the number of black nodes on a path from root to leaf nodes. Now leaf nodes are also counted as black nodes. So the red black tree of height H is having a black height, which is generally denoted by a term BH, that is going to be greater than equals to H by 2, where H is the normal height of the tree. So now here we have one more property which is derived from all these constraints and rules, that is the any red black tree with height H, for any red black tree height H and the black height BH, BH is greater than equals to H by 2. So if we talk about height of a red black tree with n nodes and height of a red black tree, as it is a binary search tree, we can always claim that H is less than equals to 2 log n plus 1. So that is the bound in which our height of the red black tree is going to lie. And like all binary search trees, our red black trees also allows efficient in order traversal, that is the traversal in the order of left, root and right of their elements. This kind of traversal will be very efficient in all the red black trees. So let me summarize. Here we have started with what actually a red black tree is, and what are the particular properties of red black trees, and what these particular properties are actually turning into, or what these particular properties are actually establishing in terms of the height, or in terms of, we can say, black height of the tree. So hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you.